Is matcha tomorrow?
Yes, Thursday. For Beach's shift.
What?
Nice.
Now that's a game of Matcha Pong right there.
Oh, please don't.
It's the most zen, relaxing hour in Desert Bus.
So we sink the shot, and then he makes the matcha, and then you have to drink it.
I'm just imagining like a single tear going down his cheek.
I know that's really good stuff. I don't want to do that to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like super happy that Jared's coming down and doing this again.
It's always fun.
I'm glad he was able to work.
Yeah, I'm disappointed that I'm probably going to miss it this year.
Oh,
yeah,
because it's my driving shift right afterwards, so
what's that?
I'm probably not going to be in.
I don't know what this is.
This is a Dawn Guard thing. So I have a friend who bleeds tea. Like if you cut him, it wouldn't be blood. Tea would come out.
That's a problem.
You should see a doctor.
Medical
yeah,
advice.
you should really.
He owns one of the best tea companies I've ever been to, Jagasuk. The people who donate our kombucha as well as their tea concentrate.
And what I'm currently drinking.
Nice. And this will be the third year in a row he'll come in during Dawn Guard and do a traditional matcha making for everybody. So he'll sit down and like boil water and then whisk it and then hand out matcha to everybody.
Matcha is tea?
Matcha is tea.
Yeah, it's green tea powder.
So
it's like Japanese style green tea.
So there are 3 grades. There might be more than this, but pardon me out here. There's different grades of Japanese tea.
Yep.
So let's go back a step. All tea comes from the same tree, Camellia sinensis, like green, black, white, oolong, pu'er, all of it. It's all the same tree. The difference in tea is how it is processed.
Fermented,
if it's steamed,
generally.
if it's fermented, whatever you're doing.
Oh.
Anything
tea is fermented. That's what makes it different.
Anything that does not come from the tea tree that you drink as tea is not tea. So mint, rooibos, coffee, all that is characterized as a tea san, which is not like a steeped beverage that is not from the tea plant. Japanese green tea in particular comes in different grades. There's, somebody's going to get me wrong. There's like sencha.
Bancha first.
Bancha, sencha, and then gyokuro.
Yep.
Are the 3 ones. And typically that has to do with when in the plant's life cycle the leaves are harvested.
Oh.
So the most, a tree, like a tea plant is like any other tree, it has leaves and then leaves go away. When the first leaves of the season happen and they're the most vibrant, they call that the first flush. And that is the most desirable leaf. If you take the first flush tea from the highest grade trees and you make it like shade grown, that's gyokuro. That's the highest grade tea you can get. If you just pick from it all the time, it gets lower grade. If you get like different flushes, so it'll be very vibrant and then it'll get less vibrant and then it gets more vibrant. Those are the flushes of the natural cycle of the tree. So those are the things they have. So it's Tisane, yes. Pronounced Tisan. Now, you take the highest quality gyokuro, then you take the leaf, you painstakingly remove the stem and all the veins from the leaf, and then you grind it down to the micron so it's so fine that you actually ingest the tea instead of steeping it. That's matcha.
Whoa.
So matcha is this very, very, very labor-intensive process made with the highest quality tea they have. So
or at least it should be.
Yeah, a lot of people, it's not necessarily just this green powder that you can throw into stuff. Like when you look at the high-grade Japanese matcha, it is the king of teas. Where's Matt when I need him to hype it up?
I feel like when you get like matcha flavored Kit Kat, it's probably not that.
Yeah,
probably
stuff.
not.
Yeah,
but part of it too is that it loses potency over time quite quickly.
Yep.
So when Jared is acquiring this stuff, he has to move very fast, and he has to be very clear about what it is that he wants. And they've been he says that he works with a single grower, I think.
He'll typically go visit a farm in Japan, and he's like, "I got this milled in Japan 3 days ago, and had it shipped over here." And he was like, "Oh wow!"
Wow.
Yeah. And it's so good.
So I don't want to say too much more because I'll let him come in and do his spiel. But if you want real good tea and you want to get here at 6 a.m.,
I do not want to do
He's
one
like
of those
Surge
things.
with coffee, but tea.
yeah.
What?
Yeah, everything I know about tea I learned from
And he's
him.
done this now. This will be the 3rd time he's visited us,
Yep.
and it's always been on my shift because I've requested it.
Yeah.
Because I don't drink coffee, so the first thing in the morning, like when 6 a.m. rolls around, and it's like
Bug
6:30,
splat.
6:45,
Hey.
and
Bug
you're making
splat.
tea. It's like this gets to keep me awake for another few hours.
And yeah, supposedly the idea, like
That's
matcha
terrifying.
doesn't have as much. It's not so much the caffeine. There's sort of stuff. There's things in it that kind of.
Terpenes.
Sorry.
No, it's but
There's stuff in it that kind of helps reduce the
polyphenols.
yeah, helps reduce the sort of stuff that makes you tired without actually like amping you up like
So-
caffeine does.
So tea has caffeine,
Mhm.
but it also has L-theanine. So if caffeine can be described as doing this, like a spike and a drop, the L-theanine does a this. It kind of curves it out.
It's a sine wave.
Yeah.
It's a sine wave. And then something else that's very interesting and very counterintuitive. If you've had so much caffeine that you're shaking, which is a thing that's happened to me, mostly work related. When I was like, "Hi, we have to order new coffee. Taste these 50 coffees."
Oh, yeah.
Drinking tea can remove the jitters.
Ah.
Like it might seem counterintuitive, but it can take some of that badness away and sort of mellow you out.
Oh, God, I forgot about that gift.
Any
So
kind of tea in particular, or just tea in general?
probably lower caffeine tea.
Well, I mean, again, all tea, it comes from the same plant.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a Jared question. I don't know how much the different processing will affect that in particular.
I think generally less fermented tea is probably better for that than more
The
fermented tea.
the thing I remember, I saw a thing on the side of a box one time, and it said that black tea has like a third of the amount of caffeine, like in a cup compared to a cup of coffee, and then below that it's like, and green tea is lower than that, and white tea is lower than that, and I'm kind of like, okay, I guess that's based on where they would pick it from and how they do all the things. So then like, I guess that's maybe because if you're fermenting your black tea, if you're processing that, it's like you have a higher concentration of tea. I don't know. Like Jared will probably know better.
White tea is, I believe, not really fermented at all.